Hello, friends. Lisa Bowles here, otherwise known as the Soul Mapper. I am not going to have my I'm not going to have my video on today. I've got an eye thing going on, and it's kind of weird looking and distracting. So you're just going to get my picture and the slides today. It is live for May 2026. We have some very interesting things to discuss today. I'm just going to say a quick hello to the folks I see joining me. Alex, Faye, hi Faye, Helen, Leslie, Lisa, Marilyn, Nancy, Shayona, Susan, Sylvia, and I know that Eric is here too. Yeah, lots to talk about today. I'm going to take my eye off the sidebar, letting me know who's here, and we're just going to dive in. Again, lots to cover. So let's go to the next slide. Just to remind us that there are backbeats to keep in mind month to month throughout the year, because they are going to have some, very quiet or in some cases very insistent character moving through us all. The one that you see highlighted, our benevolent rebel Uranus in Gemini, that's recent. That's just been a couple of days since that happened, and that has become the backbeat. He moved from Taurus, where he's been for 7 years, into Gemini, and holy moly, we're going to talk a little bit about that. But if you want to take a deeper dive, then be sure to check out what we covered in April, okay? In April's live. But I just wanted to highlight that we've had a move, and I've been hearing people talk about their sensitivity to it coming, and a couple of people since, holy cow. So this one's pretty active, and it's going to have an awful lot of sway. Next slide, please. Shorter term influences. Now, these are the ones that went into effect in the last month or so, depending, and they'll be active until the date underlined. And you want to keep those in mind too, because they're still having effect. Alrighty? Notice Aries and Gemini. Those in particular, lots of effect, because Aries, and now that we have Uranus and Gemini, because playing a big role, those themes, in addition to the character the planet brings, wowza, and worth paying attention to. Next slide, please. We got that one covered. There we go. I'm going to be watching my notes so I don't miss anything while we review. So if well, normally I say if I'm not making eye contact with you, it doesn't mean I don't love you, but I'm not making eye contact today because one of my eyes is weird, and we'll carry on. Next slide, please. Okay. May 1st, tomorrow. tomorrow. Big deal. This is going to be a particularly intense moon because it's Scorpio. Okay. Passion, power, partnerships, intense. The focus on them is likely to be intense, or if they are part and parcel of what you are attempting to make more alive in your life, they're going to be highly intense because they're going to be stirring up the things that either you want to pay attention to creatively, or the things that might be in the way of being more passionate your way, being more in power your way, and being more effective in partnerships your way. Okay. So, if I was speaking to any group of people other than the community that gathers around this work, I would say brace yourself. To you, I'm going to say notice the intensity and breathe. Practice being as present, self-possessed, and sovereign as you can. Okay? Now, The other thing I'm going to throw this in as an aside. How do I say this? This particular full moon will prompt some of us to share things we've kept under wraps for good reason. If that starts to show up and get stirred up for you, hold your tongue. Keep it to yourself for at least 24, some maybe 36 hours. Because the ability to discern, to be in discernment about what is the right time to share this, whatever it is, will be a bit wobbly, okay? It wants to help you reside in power around whatever it is you've kept to yourself. But the intensity of this day might make that difficult. So sleep on it, at least sleep on it, and then reconsider the next day, okay? The next thing is privacy, and that's part of why I'm saying what I'm saying. There is a deep call to be, like if you're a particularly private person, if that's just the way you're designed, as is true for me, the kvetch for privacy, authentic privacy, deep privacy will be high too. Okay? The combination of privacy and the call to power and partnerships is part of why I said what I just said. To practice discernment about what you reveal, to whom, under what conditions, and in the way that is right, that's the thing you want to watch. Someone's microphone's on. If you could toggle it off so we have a nice clean recording, that would be so appreciated. Thank you. The call is of the pull. Let me just say that differently. The pull of calling that's about service to us and the inhabitants of power and passion, and partnerships, collaborations, but more like tight partnerships, is also going to be ratcheted up a couple of significant notches. Now, here's why that's important to note. I am going to be watching over the next 6 months, because this sends out waves that have effect over like a 6-month cycle. I'm going to be watching because I expect that more people are going to feel called, if not for the first time, in the largest way of their lifetime, because of this full moon. Call to service in some way, shape, or form, and it's likely their life's call to service, and not to themselves, but to the world. Now, that doesn't mean that responding to our call to serve doesn't serve us too, but the primary focus is on how can I serve the world? And this is going to be a big boom, 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 boom. Okay? Those of you who help people with calling, as is true for me, keep your eyes open. And it may be a good time over the next 6 months to, get your work out there, let people know you're here, or make an offer. Now, the other thing that I just want to offer too is that this could bring opportunities for, and I'm going to say money-making opportunities, but opportunities could just pop up about working in partnership, joint ventures, using shared resources to generate income that is associated with passion, with partnerships, with power, and particularly calling. But again, when I say calling to be of service to the world, if profit is the first motive, if money making is the first motive, then it'll probably be off. Now, I'm not saying, don't attempt to make a living, but if making a living is the first priority, it will make things cockeyed because the power differential will be off. And that's part of what this full moon is wanting to help us with. Okay. If you have questions about that, please note them, pop them into the chat. Erica, if you could watch for that, that'd be great. Or put them on a piece of paper and bring them into the Q&A after we're done, okay? Next slide, please. May the 2nd till the 17th, our communication savant, otherwise known as Mercury, is working in Taurus. And this is also kind of a big deal. Thoughtful attention turns to money, and money particularly around or as a result of communication. And, value, because Taurus is often focused on the creation of value, what our values are, etc., etc. It's about creating security and stability and rootedness and the tangible resources that keep life working. Okay, so it's the call to build capacity for the building of security, tangible resources, etc. So I'm going to use another phrase. I'm going to use practical magic. Okay, now when I say the word magic, often people think, you cast a spell and ta-da, all the hard work gets done. It is about being aligned in a way with the opportunity to work with this energy in a way that is congruent with you, your purpose, your path, your way of communicating, and the message your life, and particularly your life's work, is here to communicate in a way that has synchronicities occur in practical ways that help with all the things I just talked about. Okay? You want to continue or begin to lay the groundwork for a project that is working with practical magic. It's your way. And or discover new ways to stretch your earning power, your generation power. Okay? Practical ways. Smart, but practical. Because this is taking place on the heels of that full moon that we just talked about, this is particularly potent. And it really wants to help us ground, how do I say this? Manifestation practices with the practical. Like hamana. Bring your creative power over here. Bring your creative passion over here. You can kind of get the overlay? I hope you do. The other thing I want to say is that budgeting, managing resources, scheduling, and any sort of project management gets extra help with this. So if you're a project manager or managing is your yum in ways that could help other people for whom it's not their yum, this means, hello, I'm over here. Okay? Okay. It's a great time to start a project management project. Like, oh my goodness. Next slide, please. May the 6th till October the 15th, our transformer, Pluto, goes retro in Aquarius. Okay? Ooh, so wowza. One of the big themes I'm seeing with this is us going, so how is power to the people going? How is that working? I am one of the people. Power is like the theme of this chapter of life for all of us is, so we give more power to the people. We've been asking for that as a collaborative community. We want that, or we assumed we had it. It's also another good way of looking at this. And the question in these times, particularly with this retrograde, is, so how's that going? This is a time for a serious recalibration of group dynamics, communal dynamics. And that can be a family, it can be a city or town, it can be any kind of community, including a nation, and the subcultures that make up that nation. Serious group dynamic recalibration. All right. And that's worth hanging out with. I mean that. It's really worth hanging out with, particularly if you're someone who does work with groups. Alrighty. It is a golden window, particularly if you are someone who collaborates with or wants to collaborate with a team, a community, an institution. A golden window to review what's working and what's not. And, you know, it will be a mixed bag. There'll be some who want to be really honest about what's not working and some who really won't want to be honest about that. There'll be a bit of a, remember we have a bit of a wow intensity because of that Scorpio moon. And one of the things that's about is power. And guess what? We'll still be vibing. So keep that in mind. The second thing is to untangle loose ends so that we can work with those loose ends and bring them to completion. Not immediately, but if you are able to untangle things and get clear about, you know, all the pieces, you can move those pieces forward to completion. The third is to streamline workflows, whether they're yours, your teams, or the group, okay? Especially if you work in an organization or you coach organizations. Holy moly. And the last one is divvying up duties. So everyone plays to their strengths. Now, when you're talking about, you know, great big, huge behemoth organizations, that has to be parsed down, obviously. But even when working with large organizations, if you look at each piece of the organization, and I mean departments, this is a really profound opportunity to go, this department, it needs to work this strength and not, you can see where things are bleeding and where they shouldn't be. This is going to be powerful to help with reorganizations. Now, remember that we've got a whole lot of AI things going on. Watch for overlap between what's going on in AI and the tech world, and then this. Because playing to strengths and insisting that tech helps and uplifts and makes more impactful humanity, some magic can happen here. Remember practical magic. It's still in play. The other thing is keep your eye on online presence. There's a couple of reasons. One, previous posts could resurface. And you might want to take a second look at those things because it may inform you about how far you've come or how far your work has come, or it may show you or give you a nudge. I watched a post of mine from, oh my God, 10 years ago now. And honestly, a little bit of cringe. It's like, oh my God, that was awful. It might help you through experienced contrast, like, help you know that you feel called now to communicate in broader, deeper, or more sophisticated, mature ways. Okay, so there's that. The second thing is that this may help you discover that you have been giving the opinions of those who comment on your posts more energy than is warranted, more power than is warranted. You may see where you're being pulled out of your own center of gravity, in other words, and that's an important thing to watch. Okay? Okay. The last thing I'm just going to say, there may be some really interesting conversations about power over the course of this retrograde, because one of the things humanity will be doing may not understand that it's doing it, but is kind of looking at power going, what the hell is going on and what do we need to change? Next slide, please. May 14th, our communication savant, Mercury, who is, as we just discussed a couple of slides ago, working in Taurus. Goes Cazimi, Cazimi. So that means that he is in deep partnership with the sun. And because of that partnership, he has a day of profound good fortune and intensity. Okay. One of the things he's going to be offering us is the ability to focus. And I'm going to say more than focus, laser focus. And that laser focus, if we remind ourselves that that's available to us and lean into it, it's not going to happen all by itself, although for some of us it could because of the way we're designed. But if we remember and make note, put that in our calendar and plan to lean into laser focus, that can move mountains because the sun will be syncing up with the power of Mercury working through Taurus. And this pragmatic pairing will help you move through lingering tasks that you've been trying to get complete for a long time, particularly communication tasks, and B, tie up loose ends that have been hanging. Again, particularly communication-wise. It can help you just sit down, focus, and move through them all. Okay? And everything that you kind of tick off your list of, oh, that's been outstanding, and now I can just focus and move through it, will bring you greater than the ordinary sense of relief, a well-deserved sense of pride. That thing that's also really lovely about this is it comes with the encouragement to reward yourself. It encourages you to treat yourself practically with each tick of the box, or rather, I would call them milestones. This is less about achieving things and more about, whoo, I got that complete. Wow. I stayed with the focus, which in this world of ours is kind of a big deal. So you might want to plan to have meaningful and pragmatic rewards or little treats. Now, one of the things about the Taurus energy is num, 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 num. So don't be surprised if the treat your life wants is something tasty. Okay? All right, next slide. The 16th, new supermoon in Taurus. Can you feel the theme? Boy, more practical magic, but more intensely than before. And the practical magic we were talking about before, it's still in place. So this comes along, adds a whole lot more, and yeah, just wow. Planting seeds, intentions for abundance. But when I say abundance, don't just think money. What do you want more of in your life? What do you want abundantly in your life? That's the thing. The second, security. What kinds of security do you yearn for? And then third, everyday comfort, but not the comfort that cocoons us, but the kind of comfort that helps us soothe our nervous system and be more available in our body and in our human life. Okay? This reset, it's a reset. And it will be asking us deeply, not cognitively, but in our life, in our body, in our soul, what do you truly value? Are you living what you value? Are there places where you find that difficult? And if so, how can you help yourself live that value? How can you spend and save in ways that honor both your pleasure and your priorities? Creative. Even small upgrades can be a game changer right now. What do I mean by that? Replacing worn out basics with quality investment pieces, wardrobe wise. Um, even little things that you kind of bought inexpensively because it was the smart thing to do at the time, but a slightly higher investment is something that's going to be lasting because it's high quality. That's the thing. And when I say game changer, what I mean by that, when you're working with this kind of manifestation energy, is it's a conversation. Look, I'm investing in myself. Yes, it's more, but it's important. So I'm being smart with my resources. That gets a response, and it's one you can't predict, but it'll be there. Align your dollars with your values by supporting businesses or organizations that truly reflect your ethics. Now, it may ask you to do a deeper dive because I think most of us are beginning to realize that there are some businesses who make a show of ethics and values, but that's advertising. And so we want to be thoughtful and careful about verifying that what we're investing in, who we're investing with, on the most, are living the values they espouse. They're humans, so there'll be stumbles, same with us. But for the most part, there's alignment and you can feel it. And that's the place to put your investment. Okay. Next slide, please. May the 17th until June 1st, our communication savant, Mercury, shifts into Gemini. Oh, this is going to be a big deal. Yeah. What do I want to say about this? The reason why this is a big deal is because it comes about not quite 3 weeks after Uranus has shifted into Gemini, and that amplifies things. But let's talk about this by itself for now. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's a novel idea. I want you to know that ideas, novel, off the wall, ideas are going to be flying through the air like wildly. Not all of them will be free. So one thing, keep a notebook or your voice notes in your smartphone or smart device handy, because it could feel for some like they're just everywhere. And you could you could get burnt out by trying to hold on to it all in your head. Don't try. Write them down and then let go of the thought. Just let it carry on in the wind. Second, not all of them will be for us. Recording them will help you see which ones keep coming back. The ones that return and return and return may not be exactly the same, but they're so close. Those are likely for you to explore further. And you want to take stock of that. But that will be difficult if you don't record them so that you can compare. The time between May 17th and June 1st is not the time to decide which ideas to follow. They are the time to witness them, to record them, and to let them go. Okay? Enjoy for people who've got ideation as a big value of theirs, this could be hella fun. And it could burn you out, burn out the circuits. So take good care. This will also rev up many a person's social life. Okay? Wow, revved up, high, high, high. And it makes it easier to strike up conversation and connections, particularly close to home. Not exclusively, but particularly. Short-term collaborations are, I'm just going to say, not just faved, but blessed. So think pop-ups or really brief runs that could pave the way for longer partnerships, longer term presence. It's kind of experimental, but it wants to be experimented. Collaboration is what wants to be experimented with. Okay. This will likely be more geographically local than virtual. So keep that in mind. It doesn't exclude virtual, but it's likely to be more alive on the ground where you are. I'm going to say within a 15 to 30 or 40 mile radius. Okay. Now, attention spans are going to be shorter than usual. Like, given that we live in a world with we've been trained into short attention spans already, that could be a bit of a trip. So keep that in mind. Keep your focus on the things that keep your brain engaged without burying you or bogging you down. Alrighty? Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit more about this. Because there is some overlap with Uranus now in Gemini. Oh my goodness. We're likely to become more talkative, more eager to exchange ideas, more witty, more, and I'm just gonna say it's more smartass, which could get some of us in trouble. People like you and I are going to want to be talkative, but at depth. We want to be more talkative than we're accustomed to ourselves being, but we want it to be meaningful. And if the person or people with whom we're attempting to be chatty are unable or unwilling to go deep or aren't interested in meaning, you're going to become agitated faster. And remember that whole smartass thing I was just talking about? You could be smartass in a whip, and it could come out of your mouth before you even have time to catch it. So be aware. It is an excellent, excellent time for studying, for writing, for communicating in ways that are intended to reach and touch and move people. It's also a great time for research. It will be encouraging us to be flexible, adaptable, okay, agile. Alrighty? Don't be surprised. I'm laughing at this because I already do it more than is sometimes useful. Juggle multiple things at a time. Okay? Part of the reason why the adaptability, flexibility, agility thing is up is because where we're going is going to ask us to be adaptable to swiftly changing circumstances. And this wants to help us kind of get ourselves in that mode. Okay? We will also find ourselves, and this will be very true for people with a lot of air in their map. So if you have an air sun sign, moon, Mercury, Mars, ascendant, rising, this will be very, very true for you. Mental restlessness, mental nervousness. In general, there will be a tendency to just kind of skip over details and maybe have just a lot of scattered thinking. Keep this in mind, even if you're someone who tends to be more deliberative and detailed, and just know that this is going to be in the vibe. We're trying to help ourselves, again, prepare for the age we're transitioning into, so that while things are moving fast, we have developed the capacity to be at depth and anchored. Slowness is a word we don't like in our culture, but anchored in a pace that helps us see with sharpness while things around it, not meant for us, are blurry. I hope that made sense. Okay? Focus will help you not be in mental fatigue. And there'll be a lot of mental fatigue. Okay? Okay. Couple of quick additional things. Borrow on the call for focus that we talked about earlier. You can borrow that and bring it here. So make a lot, like if you're putting this in your calendar or your day timer, make whatever way you can a line between that moon and this. Remind yourself that you can draw on focus. It's available because you could forget. I'm probably going to. And I've already got this in my calendar. Okay. Next slide, please. May 18th till June 28th, our action instinct Mars working in Taurus. This is kind of a deal too. And it's paradoxical because Mars doesn't like to move slow, and Taurus is like, honey, what's the rush? So there could be a little bit of greeness with this. Please keep that in mind, especially if in your life this calls you to go slower. And if you're more comfortable moving slow, this may kind of stir you up in ways that are kind of a nudge to go faster than the slow you prefer to get you going. Just want you to know both ends of that particular continuum could be some gooriness, but for different reasons. Okay. This is going to bring a kind of amped up motivation. Motivation's going to kick in, but it wants to be at a pace that's deliberate, not frantic. You see how various moves through the month are all about, in their own way, things are going to go continually fast, folks. Let's learn how to be grounded and anchored so that we go the right kind of slow internally. So when we go fast externally, we're clear. But we need to build up the capacity for that. A great many of this month's moves are all about this, coming from a variety of angles. It's so smart. Right? Now, Mars might add some pressure. Remember we talked about that? It's just like, come on, let's move. And Taurus is going, yes, but we must be anchored appropriately in order to move wisely, in order to move from instinct, not impulsiveness. Taurus also wants to remind us that we can balance fast with pleasure. Okay. Normally in our culture, in Western culture in particular, going fast means you don't get to enjoy yourself until the job's done. And Taurus goes, what? Who the hell told you that? And that could be an important meaning that is alive during this window for a great many of us, for the culture for sure, but for a great many of us folks. You might find yourself feeling compelled to savor things like music or art, your own artistry, nature, anything that's kind of luxurious and practical. You know, we talked about investment pieces. This is a prime time to, one, tackle your to-do list with a clear head, and B, get your finances on solid footing too. And that could be really important for those of us in business. Many of us find the whole money thing. This wants to help us find pleasure in it. I kid you not. So, good to know. PS1. During this time, a bill may come due, or money matters could require, even demand extra attention right now. If you know what that is before this kicks in, tend to it before it kicks in. Okay, to the best of your ability. Remember, practical magic. PS2, watch out for stubborn standoffs. Okay, while Mars is here, Think about a bull. You've heard the phrase bull in a china shop. Mm-hmm. With all of us having that energy moving around in our lives and the energy moving around between nations, neither side of a conversation or, different points of view will be all that eager to bend. Yeah, there could be showdowns. This is a great opportunity to practice self-possession. Alrighty? So be sure to put that in your calendar too. Next slide, please. Okay. Same date, shorter duration. Our charisma of cause, Venus in Cancer. Yeah? Yamana, yamana, yamana. Yamana, yamana. There are a few places that Venus loves being more than in Cancer. It's just happy, happy, happy. The theme of this is sanctuary. Oh, I'm home, my sanctuary. So the call to create or experience real sanctuary, online and off, will be high. Okay? And I'm really not kidding. If you have been thinking about or are in the midst of redesigning your online space so that it is more of a home for the people the work is for, this could really work for you. If you are a graphic designer, if you are someone who builds websites, and there's way more tools for that these days now than ever, this is a powerful time. Powerful, powerful, powerful. We're going to want the visual and experiential vibe to be, I'm going to say home-like, but not in a syrupy way. And I'm going to say biophilic. And by that, I mean earthy, like water, trees, green. You get my feeling? Okay. Yeah. You want it to be a place you and others enjoy, feel at home in, feel like it's a sanctuary. Okay. Social at home or on home turf. Woof. High, high, high. Now, this is more geographical home, but not exclusive. It's the season for, Sunday dinners, movie nights, inviting folks over to watch the game, that kind of thing. All right. And then the call here is to bring our lives closer, to bring us closer. That's really the thing. Whether that is an experience that is geographical or online, that's the theme. Sanctuary, and let's get closer. And not in an artificial, performative way, because neither of these in their true expression are in any way performative. It is the real deal. And if it isn't, I don't want it. I don't want it. All righty. Next slide, please. May the 20th till June 21st, our force of nature, the sun, moves into Gemini. Oh, the Gemini ramp up is real. Craving, craving, craving. Okay. So, contact. We want contact. We want room and space to consider and to be supported in our deep considerations. But they'll be through conversation. So we'll be craving conversation that helps us make contact with what we are and why we are considering. Okay? Hi. Local, again, is the thing. The thing. You can create a local feeling online But the pull here mostly is, where in my, again, 15 to 35, 40-mile radius of home is the place. Okay. We're going to be wanting to be face to face more because of this in a deeply craving way. So getting on a plane and going someplace, yeah, that's possible too. But this wants to remind you there may be more alive in your local area than you tend to think. Now, the last thing about this that's, wow, really important is remembering that because of all the Gemini energy, the Sun, Mercury, and Uranus, things are going to start moving at lightning speed. So again, you might want to have on hand a notebook, an audio recorder, something that helps you note spontaneous ahas, insights, ideas, like all of it. Seriously, every time something moves into Gemini, the speed of that and the hum of it in our lives gets bigger and more intense. And that's awesome. But having recording devices on hand, seriously, you're going to want it. And having ways to get yourself grounded, anchored in your body, in ordinary physical life. That's why Gemini is really interesting. It asks us to be local. It asks us to be face to face. It amplifies our craving for real connection, face to face conversation, and community. At the same time, it does this because it's trying to offer us a kind of balancing exercise. And if you forget to add the grounding, the anchoring, the in physical body, in real life, burnout city, baby, faster than you can imagine. So please, please, please take good care. Especially if you have a lot of air in your map. Next slide, please. May 31st, full moon in Sagittarius. Say yes to the quest, my friend. So if you work with clients in any way, shape, or form, just know that the call to be questing is going to be higher than usual a couple of days before this becomes exact and for about 6 months. Okay? If you are someone who takes people on quests or facilitate quests, it's your time. The other thing that's really interesting is it has to be in your wheelhouse. Okay, so just taking someone on a quest, quest plus your work in the world, not just any kind of quest. If you are out of alignment with your own quest facilitating yum, yeah, no. So one of the things about Sagittarius is it wants us to be in and express from and explore from truth. So it must be truly yours. Okay? It's going to dare us all to stretch beyond the safe and the familiar. Okay? While remaining anchored in what is true for us, authentic for us. So don't be surprised if you're working with folks or the call comes to you to stretch in ways that are not comfortable and unfamiliar. So remember you heard me say earlier with the moon happening tomorrow, the full moon in Scorpio, I was like, oof, there's going to be a lot of people called. This kind of comes pretty close as a second, but it comes at it from a very different angle. And to know that this month is bookended by that, kind of important. If your purposeful work in the world is purpose and calling, as is true for me, whew, hello. Okay, broaden your horizons. You may even feel you need to, or they may even feel they need to pack a bag and go on a journey. But often it's people going on an internal journey And that's the one that many of us can be of support to. Although there's a few people in this community who help with the external journeys too. So, yeah. So personal growth workshops, hands-on courses, yeah, anything like that, particularly if it means going to a place people are unfamiliar with, culturally too, not just, another state in the same country you're in, that's going to be a big deal. Okay? I want you to also know that this is this is going to, how do I say this? People who are or have been inclined to bully others, there's going to be some amplifying energy here because people who have the propensity to bully, the intensity of this full moon could agitate them and amplify their frustration and have them bully again or bully bigger. Just want you to know. Okay? As folks who facilitate other people's experience or journey, at least in part, we want to watch for where we become insistent and try and manhandle people into visions that aren't theirs in whole or in part, or into timing that isn't theirs either. Like that's one to watch for. Okay. Moon course practitioners, so I'm speaking to you directly because this bookends moons, big, big, big. Pay close attention. Okay. And dive into your practice a little deeper. Okay. All right. Next slide, please. Yes, opportune days. Next slide. All right. Words as Medicine Day. And that's true for you first. And I mean that. So take courage. Sometimes the words that will come out of our mouths or show up on the page or whatever the case might be, depending on your approach and your way, at first they could just come out of our mouth for someone, and we may think they're for someone else or for a group of people and be very, very excited, huzzah, and they're for us first. And if we don't see that, or we go, yeah, I'll come back to that later, the thing about this is it'll bring her back around and whoa. Now, the way to tell if that's the case for you is that just the articulation of them on paper, so you could be someone who writes music, you could be someone who writes poetry, you get my thing. Articulation or communication is that there's all kinds of methods. If this is meant for you first, there'll be a wave of relief, almost like you're admitting something you've been heavily carrying for a long damn time. All right. Okay. Next one, May 22nd. Oh my goodness. Out of the blue surprise. No, go back. May 2nd. May 22nd. Thank you. Out of the blue surprise, genius and shakeup kind of days. This one involves our benevolent rebel, and he's Cazimi this day. So those of you who are in the current, check out your PDF. This won't just bring out of the blue surprises, but it's out of the blue surprises that connect you with genius of yours. Now, here's the thing. That could shake you up a bit because in it is an invitation to upgrade in some way, up level in some way. And if you are holding on tightly to something, plans, a structure, it may say to you, yeah, this is a great idea. You got a part of it a while ago. I'm so glad you acted on it. Now you got to abolish this piece. Now this piece has got to go. And yeah, okay. Let yourself be experimental. And don't be surprised if you get shaken up by a what? Okay. And it's good. Next slide, please. Neutral days. Now, neutral days are days that are neither hotspot or exceedingly opportune. They're neutral because they're here for us to work with so that we could increase our degree of ability to be self-possessed, increase our degree to be present, increase our ability to be sovereign, that kind of thing. Okay? Next slide, please. May 4th. Ready, set, charge. Into action, period. Act. Okay? Lots of us are going to want to think and have it all figured out first, and that's not what this day's for. And so it might jumble you a bit. Okay? Go into instinct as best you can. Whatever instinct says, and we're not talking, fantasy. We're talking deep instinct, because it's directing us into expansion that we must act on for the next step or the next few steps to appear. Okay? It's not the best day for taste tests, webinars, sales conversations, that kind of thing. But, okay? The other thing I want to also say here is this energy could have you promise something before you're sure you can deliver on it. So take care about that. That's not the same thing as taking action on a gut instinct. Okay? Okay. On the 5th, horn-locking, manipulative, power struggle kind of day. Now, you say that's neutral? Well, yes, if you're doing work to untangle yourself from propensity. Just because there's some funny business going on doesn't mean you have to jump in. Doesn't mean. Okay? The folks around you who are being affected by this influence without conscious awareness, this is an opportunity to be discerning and more conscious in what you choose to do, how you choose to behave, even though you might be agitated. Okay? Not the best day for taste test webinar sales conversations, because, okay? Next slide, please. Yeah, tenderhearted. And because many of us are tenderhearted, and likely more tenderhearted than we consciously realize, we could be short fuse real fast. Okay? Another really important day to practice being as present and conscious as we can be. And, if you trip, love yourself into coming back. Again, not the best day for taste test webinar sales conversations, unless you want to help people touch their tenderheartedness so they can tell the truth to themselves about something and make a discerning decision. But just be aware, you got to be ready to hold space for folks in high intensity emotion. Okay? May 19th, words carry extra transformative weight kind of a day. Now, you might think that would automatically mean great day for a webinar, great day for a taste test. Not necessarily. Because you don't know what words are going to hit with some people, and you don't know what they're going to hit. Unless you have a great deal of practice holding high intensity transformational moments with people, not the best day. But if you've got that, and I mean years of experience, cool. If you want to work your development and build capacity for moments like this, work one-on-one with people. Okay? It's a great day for booking that kind of stuff. Next slide, please. May 22nd, mixed signals, muddy waters kind of day. Again, not the best day. And that kind of goes for everybody, because you as facilitator of those moments, you'll be receiving mixed signals from people. So really not the best day. But it is a great day for doing clarification work. Okay, so if you work with small groups or individuals, or you want to sit with your own muddiness, this is a great day for clarification. Oh my goodness. Next slide, please. May 26th, see the power dynamics kind of a day. This is a wild opportunity to see what's moving around. Sensing, to go from beyond sensing to actually being able to go to kind of parse it out and see what's on the move in terms of power dynamics and whether those power dynamics, now this is a cool one, whether those power dynamics are being attempted to be applied from the external, I'm the power, you're not, or whether they're coming from the internal and someone is occupying power. Okay? And to see propensity or elevation or untangle yourself from propensity and build yourself into higher elevation, that's what this stays for. Okay? Again, schedule taste tests, etc. Only if you're fairly sure you can stay in your center of gravity. But you could attend something as a participant and witness and work with that for your own elevation. And that's something I would strongly suggest if this has you a little on the stirred up side, or the month has had you a little on the stirred up side. Next slide, please. Press pause, surface assumptions, and rebalance for equitability. What do I mean by that? There's a difference between equality and equitability. There are some in certain situations where if equality is present, equal representation, for example, but the circumstances are not such that they have an equal chance at seeing something, being able to use materials, being able to hear, that kind of thing. So it gives us a chance to go, so am I building circumstances for myself or other people, sorry about the noise in the background, that actually balances things into more equitability? And where am I functioning from assumptions I didn't even know I was? Okay. Next slide, please. Hotspot days, just one. 16th. And notice it has an asterisk beside it because one of our neutral days is also a hotspot day. So keep that in mind. Next slide, please. Serious short fuse kind of day. And I mean serious short fuse kind of day. Not the best for, the usual. And we're all going to be more inclined to be short fuse this day. So for those of us who are leaning into practice, this could be considered somewhat of a neutral day because it's a high practice day, but the degree of practice is going to be significant. And I'm just going to say this. The effects of this are likely to linger for more than just a single day. So keep that in mind. This one's spicy. Next slide, please. Oh, Dominican Republic. Oh, Susan. Yeah. I'll be walking with you in my heart, my friend. Next slide, please. Here are the favored fields for May. Be sure to check in with both February's, March's, April's, and live. Because there's some thumbs that are still going to be active that just can't be on this single slide. And you've heard me talk about a couple in slightly different ways. So you might want to screenshot this, print it, put it on the wall in front of you, particularly if one or more of these speak directly to your purposeful work. Okay, and remember, this is a month when we'll be called to be, faithful to our work. Not what feels attractive, not what feels hot, not what feels like it's working right now, our work. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about actionable focus. I just want to say for all the neurodivergent peoples out in the world that I'm talking with right now, I happen to be among you. Focus hits differently for us. If it's in your wheelhouse, there could be a call in there for you. It could be a very big one in there for you, including having a conversation or teaching the non-divergent more about the divergent. Won't be surprised to see some of that out there. Alrighty? Okay. Next slide, please. Live for June. It's on Thursday, May the 28th at our usual time of 1 p.m. Eastern. You might want to put that in your calendar now. Okay, next slide. Any questions, any shares, anything that you've been kind of writing down and you knew you wanted to chat about this at the end? Now's the time. If you're watching this as a replay and you got a burning question, or you sit with the replay for a few days and something occurs to you, come on over to our private Facebook group and let me know. I'm in and out often. Which of May's influence are already calling you, friends? My ears are burning. I cannot wait to hear you. Who's got a question or share?
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, you.
Hey. Well, I just wanted to share more than have a question. It's just as I was listening to this, I thought, oh my God, I'm already in this. I'm already doing stuff in an insane way. And then I almost wasn't going to show up today, because I thought I had too much to do. But then I
Yeah.
thought, oh wow, I really needed to hear this because I'm just so ungrounded at the moment. So it
Yeah.
was really good to hear this today. And I just wanted to thank you for that.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for coming anyway,
You're
Karen.
welcome.
Joey, it's lovely to see your name. You too, Isabel. Kalita's here. I see a whole bunch of other names that I didn't catch before we started. It's lovely
Hi,
to see y'all.
hi, Lisa.
Hi, Joey.
Hi. Listen, you are so powerfully in touch, in tune, and aspirational and inspirational. That's honestly, I just love what you're saying. It inspires the hell out of me, and I am trying to step up all the time to meet what you're offering.
Mm,
Thank you. Bless you.
bless you back. Stepping up with you, my friend.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's good to have you here.
Many thanks. Likewise, to be with you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Melissa, did you want to say something?
Sure. I wasn't going to come either, and boy, I'm going to be listening to this uh, over and over again.
Yeah.
Um, it is such an important and pivotal time and vulnerable time throughout the world, and certainly in the US. And I love the idea of Mercury getting slowed down. That Taurus gives us a grounding whether we want it or not.
Whether we want it or not. Yes, ma'am.
And for me it often feels like moving through sludge, but it's so important right now because consideration, as you've so brilliantly said,
Yeah.
is, and for me I'm thinking, yeah, map my walls.
Yeah.
Don't do a lot. Pick the ones that really stick out. And for me, that's so helpful.
Good.
And so thank you. And I also put in two links into the chat.
Okay.
There's a podcast called Pivot
Yes.
with Scott Gallery and Kara
Yeah.
Swisher that is my Bible. But if you just want to learn about tech and AI in a quick, brief, easily digested moment, that's the one I think to pay attention to. Do it while you're driving. Um, and I just finished a book called Culting in America, which is the dynamic of groups, and it's not what you think it is.
Not what you think it is.
It is, the woman was a part of a cult, but so it gives her this she's like third generation in a cult. So she got out and joined the army, yet another cult.
Yep.
And this book is brilliant. I can't recommend it enough because it calls into question the dynamics of groups.
Yep.
And right now, Americans love to smash pedestals, and some people actually deserve to be on one. So it's just for me, I bought the audio, listened to it, bought the book, underlined it, reread it 3 times so far. That's
Mm,
how important it feels to me. Just
yeah. So
FYI.
I've read the book. It's worth reading. No question about it. Two things I want to offer in response, and thank you for sharing.
Hmm.
One, some people are worth, like they are meant to be standing on a pedestal, provided A, you can put yourself on that pedestal with them, and B, they don't mind. Second, Scott Galloway's an interesting character. He has some really important things to say, and watch your self-possession and sovereignty. Just saying. Okay?
Scott is a glorified male chauvinist with deep feminist tendencies. He is smart and he can make comments that just make you want to smack him.
Yep, exactly. And
But
there's
he
some,
knows business and I love the man. So
just
just
make sure
FYI.
you hold on to your sovereignty and self-possession. That's
You
all I'm saying.
bet.
Okay, good, 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 good. Because oof, he's smart and yeah.
And Kara calls him an asshole all the time. Because
Because he can be.
and he owns it. So
Yes,
that's the nice
well,
part of him.
some places do, and that's the work of being human. Thank you again, Melissa. Anybody else have a question or a share? I'd love to hear.
Lisa, it's Sylvia. I have a share.
Hi, Sylvia.
Hi. I feel like I had a whole experience of the new supermoon in Taurus yesterday, and we haven't even had the full moon in Scorpio yet.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So these energies are running, they're also running fast.
They're running fast and they're running hot.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
yeah.
I hear you. Thanks, Sylvia. And that, for folks like us who are sensitives, we feel things and we often feel them before they become full, or in the words of astrology, exact. That will be common, and it will be more common because Aquarius, Pluto in Aquarius, now going into retrograde soon, so that will slow down some. But all this Gemini energy, particularly with Uranus and then Mercury, holy crap. It is a thing. It is a thing, and it's going to be a thing for a while. Again, building your capacity for self-possession and sovereignty means that you will have the ability to retain connection to your center of gravity and go fast when it is appropriate, when it is yours, while all these energies are moving at blinding speed. And you're receiving in breathtaking ways. So thank you for saying that, because that's a very real experience for a lot of us here. So I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lisa. Wow,
My
this
pleasure.
helps to make sense of what's going on.
Well, and that's another reason why being in touch astrologically with the energies as they move and shift and build in kind of intensity and urgency too at some of them. When you have that, it helps you make more sense of your inner experience, so you feel less crazy. So thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, Sophia.
Well,
Sorry,
thank you.
this is Melissa. I have to jump in again because I couldn't agree with Sylvia more.
Yeah.
But I'm putting a warning out because I just realized what happened. I have Venus in Taurus, and it's the only trine in my chart is with Mars in the 11th house, so second to 11, and Mars is in Capricorn. And I put out a little bit that maybe relationship could be fun. I hadn't thought about it in years, and I thought, well, maybe. But all of a sudden, I've had 3 men call me and several offers for like collaborations that I have been hiding for months, so I was completely unprepared for, and be careful what you wish. But the other part is hearing what you both just said was like, yes, sovereignty. The most
Yep.
important thing for me is to stay in my center,
Yeah.
not be swept away in all of this Gemini playful partnership stuff, but to go, what is what is my calling and what is my next baby step? One step, just the next step. So just FYI warning.
Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Um, the thing that I want to add to what you said, Melissa, is, be careful what you ask for or wish for. I want to say be mindful that if there is that kind of almost instantaneous response, the universe heard you and it's offering you opportunity to work something out. So be mindful, because, be careful what you wish for can leave some of us feeling like it's bad to wish. It isn't.
Ah,
It's not
thank
bad. It means you're asking for an opportunity to work something out. And to do so from greater self-possession and sovereignty is likely the ticket.
And actually, I was asking to work something with,
Uh-huh.
to collaborate and play.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I wasn't expecting quite the tidal wave, is all I
Right.
was saying.
Yep. Cool. Thanks, Melissa.
Yep.
Anybody else?
Lisa, it's Patrice.
Hi.
Yesterday, I
Yeah.
was listening to a podcast and they mentioned a statistic that in the past 20 years, our attention span has
Mhm.
shifted from being 2.5 minutes to 47 seconds
Uh-huh.
before it's like, and now it sounds like it's going to be moving even faster from
Yep.
what you've said. So,
Yep.
yikes.
Yep.
I
And
thought it was shocking enough already.
no, and that's why I'm so appreciate you saying that. It's cause to be concerned, but it's concern not to throw us into, but into, oh, okay, I need to deepen my practice. We are not horsing around.
Right.
Because it's a little bit like being taken out by a tide.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to navigate that force, if you don't know how to be in the waters when a tide is on the move, or to stay the hell out of the water until the tide has settled, then it will have more impact on your life than you likely want or need it to have. And the thing that I'm thinking about, particularly with all this extraordinary Gemini energy, and Uranus is going to be in Gemini for 7 years. I mean, this is not going anywhere anytime soon. Part of what's in there is for people who are aware enough to know that we have to practice working with this force. We can't make it go away. It's not possible. It's here for good reason. It's one of our proxies, is to deepen our practice. And to remember that that's not one of the things that I'm paying close attention to, like I have two planets in Gemini. This is talking to me. If we want to maintain the capacity to think clearly, because Gemini is connected to thinking, in ways that help us develop and deepen our capacity for presence, for self-possession, for sovereignty, for seeing and feeling our way, then we have to take ourselves more deeply into ourselves so that we don't get run away with. Does that make sense, y'all?
Yes.
Okay. Like it is it is one of the calls of our time. Deepen your capacity to be here, be you. All of this is going to be attempting to distract you, to move you off your own center of gravity. Well, is that okay with you? And we can look at it as we're being done to, or we can stand in it as individuals and as a community and go, okay, so we decided to up the bar. It's time to practice more deeply. And that's part of the reason why living the deeper story, it's practice time. We could sort of hang out with it when we felt like it and remembered before. That's not going to work now. And whatever we can do to help ourselves be in practice, that's the thing. And to be in practice together, because that amplifies our ability to build capacity. It's not Lone Ranger anymore. Gemini and Aquarius make that very clear. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I so appreciate it. So appreciate it. Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, Lisa, this is Nancy. I'm having an interesting time with these Gemini, Uranus uh, energies and all the other aspects. I'm speaking as a person with a stellium of ninth house planets in Gemini.
Oh, wow.
What's been happening for me is about, I want to say, 2.5 weeks ago, roughly.
Mhm.
I woke up with a dream about I'm a nonfiction writer, have been so far, with just a vision of a children's book series
Mm-hmm.
and fiction books. And I, the muse has me firmly in its grip. I now have published 3 books. I have written, the total is now up to 8, and I have outlines for 20 more. Um, this is going so fast and furious. I can't stop it. I'm not sure I want to. I'm having the time of my life.
Yay.
Never imagined myself would ever write kids books, let alone fiction. So this is brand new experience for me, and I'm loving it.
That's
So
great.
the creativity piece of it is comfortable. The speed and the clarity of it. I mean, this stuff is precise. It's absolutely perfect with very little to change as it comes out. Not much editing needed. And I'm just trying not to stand aside and look at it because that will stop me.
Right. Yep. I hear you. And, the call to children's fiction makes sense given the energies. For those of you who aren't familiar with the term stellium, it's an astrological term. It means having 2 or more planets closely together, very closely together, and they work as a super archetype. You've heard me talk about that before. That's wild, Nancy. I'm glad you're having fun.
I am. I would just see where it goes. I'm
Yeah.
letting it happen.
Yeah. That's
So
awesome.
just wanted to share that part.
Yeah. The only thing I would say to you, my love, is do what you can to be in your body at times, like
Yeah.
analog hobbies, analog play, just because it will help.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm with spring, the weeds are growing like crazy, and I'm taking time and just stop and go pull some weeds every so often.
That's great.
That works.
That's great. Well done.
Thanks.
Well done. What time have we got, folks? I'm just looking at so I can be here for 5 more minutes. Erica, are you okay for 5 more minutes?
Yep.
Okay, great. Anybody got anything else they want to offer or add or share? Questions? We may not need the 5 minutes, but
This is Melissa. Just a quick technical question. I'd like to copy the chat, and I can't remember how to do it. Will it be part of the notes or?
no. The chat is for folks here, and we don't publish it because privacy, so we don't do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thanks. Anybody else? Okay. Thank you, everybody. It's going to be a very full month, to be bookended this way by moon, with moon activity in the middle, and, the big move of Uranus into Gemini just a couple of days ago, plus all the additive Gemini and Taurus. So, thank God for Taurus. It's just going to be a very full month. Take good care of yourself, please, and take good care of the people around you, or remind them to take care of themselves is probably a better way of putting it. I'm glad it sounds like a number of people are like, I'm not sure I really, and you came anyway. I thank you for you. I'm so glad you were here, and thank you for adding your voice and your life here, your heart. All right, my friends, we're going to wrap things up. I would love it if you would turn on your microphones and say goodbye so I could hear your voice, if you so desire.
Thank you, Lisa. This was wonderful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Loved it.
Thank you,
Lisa.
Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks,
Take care.
Lisa.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Erica. Thanks,
Oh,
everybody.
yeah. Thank you, Erica.
Bless everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Stay grounded.
Yeah.
Talking to me.
Oh.
Bye. Love y'all.
Back at you.